This is Cody Cox with Bridge City Factors. At least it's morning where I'm at. Not real early, but it's Friday and it's still morning. I'm not sure where you're at, so I'm not sure what time it is for you. But anyway, I was thinking, investors love passive. And let me tell you what that means to me. What I'm thinking about is that investors, as they grow through their various levels of investment careers, if you will, investment levels. Many people start off being the hands-on, being the person who's doing the work and managing it all and directing all that. And eventually, then they move over to another section where they've delegated some things out and having other people do a lot of the duties that they did. And then eventually moving into where they're just putting their money to work for you. Uh, and again, let me explain a little bit more what I'm talking about there. That seemed a little vague. Uh, one of the books that a lot of us that are in the maybe alternative investment, real estate, notes, things like that, that we all got excited about was a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And that, if you are not familiar with that book, I encourage you to get that book and read it. It's a pretty easy read. Whether it's an accurate or truthful or just kind of a allegory, if you will, it's still a good book, and the concepts in there are great. And then one of his subsequent books that I really liked is the one called the Cash Flow Quadrant, and that's what this one here is. Now, as you look into this, it's probably all backwards to you because of the way this camera thing works. But it talks about the E being the employee, the S being self-employed, the B being the business owner, and the I being the investor. And those are basically part of the quadrants that he's come up with. And I have found as I'm progressing through my personal investing type of strategies, I'm kind of leaning more and more to the investor type of things, the ones where I can put my money with somebody else and they can manage it for me, and it's all very, very passive. Now, obviously, when you look at this, and I've talked about our promissory note fund, our Reg D fund, that's a business for me. That's a B, which is something I'm still active. It still keeps me doing. That's my primary focus, and that's why I'm doing these videos here. But again, going back to my opening statement, is that investors like passive income, then that's moving over to that I side of things. And so that's what our fund offers for those investors that have, grown to the point that they have some investable capital, especially accredited investors. They're still maybe doing their own thing as far as the B aspect of it all, maybe even as a self-employed. And there's a lot of them still in the employee standpoint of things. That's fine. But they have some investable capital and they want to slowly move to the right side of the quadrant, spend more of their time and money. I guess it's less of their time and more of their money in the investor side of things. And so, if you're in that part of your life and part of your growth and maturity and becoming an investor, and you're ready to take a step that has somebody else manage your funds so you don't have to, do the day-to-day work on that, then I encourage you to give me a call or at least give me an email so we can set up a call. Again, Bridge City Factors is a management company, and you can always reach me at Cody at bridgecityfactors.com, or take a look at our website, which is bridgecityfactors.com. I guess I don't really need to do www anymore. It's just bridgecityfactors.com. But anyway, just a thought I had today on this Friday morning. Again, investors like passive income. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend and happy investing. Oh, by the way, you seen what's going on in the stock market? The assets we have in our fund haven't lost anything. But if you're out there in the stock market, hopefully you're managing that well and keeping your losses to a minimum or preparing for what could be opportunity. Anyway, again, none of our assets in the fund have lost anything.